the biggest priority for you in the off-season practices leading up to minicamp for you and your recovery and getting back to being ready at training camp?
Just getting cleared. I know I can't participate in anything if I'm not cleared, so I think that's my biggest thing that I'm trying to get to right now. So, yeah, getting cleared.
You know what the final hurdles are for you to get cleared?
No hurdles. I wouldn't say that. I just been waiting on the doctors. Everything's been looking great so far. So just getting over the hump. With just everything with my recovery. But I think I'm past that point, and yeah, just waiting on the call. So
how do you feel?
I feel great. I feel like I need a little bit more time, but I should be good for training camp.
All right, so it is a bit of a break here until training camp, 5 weeks. I know that's time for you guys to get away and relax, but those are big 5 weeks, I'm assuming, for you to make sure you're ready, that when it's possibly time to be cleared, you can be cleared.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like this is the biggest off season for me since I've been in the NFL. Coming off the injury and then making sure that I'm, ready conditionally and emotionally, physically, just everything. I feel like I, have to sharpen everything just because it's been so long since I've been out on the field and actually, competing with the guys. So big off season for sure.
So are the next 5 weeks a break time for you, or is this work?
It's work for sure. This is probably the hardest that I'm going to go, just coming off this injury. I've never had an injury like this, and I think that's the only the correct way to approach it in my head. I feel like that's the only way I'm actually going to get through it mentally. Just really stressing the body and callousing up my body right now for the season.
You've used the word mentally. Guys always talk about that being the hardest part of this process, is the mental game. For you, where do you think you are mentally with your process of getting back?
I have a great circle. These guys over here, my family, just my agent, just everyone. I feel like everyone's been in my corner, my trainers. I feel like that's the biggest thing that's helped me get over that hurdle that you mentioned. So yeah, I feel like just getting over that mental hump, I think that's the biggest thing, getting over an injury. But yeah, I feel like I'm in a great spot mentally, and I'm just ready, for the next step.
We all know you as one of the best athletes in this room. Do you feel like all that explosion, that athleticism is coming back?
Oh yeah, for sure. I can tell, the trainers can tell. Whenever I'm out there, I feel great.
When you do get cleared and it is training camp, how do you see your role? Because I think a lot of people are curious, like how they're going to deploy you and kind of weaponize you and what you bring to this team. Are you curious to see what it looks like when you get to training camp?
Yeah, I'm very curious. I know it's going to be a subtle, way for me to get back into the groove of things. But yeah, I think that's the thing that I'll have to figure out whenever I come back. But being ready for anything, I think that's part of the psychological part of it, to where be ready for anything and just get my body prepared for it as well. So
I think it's got to be difficult, because when you do get back, you probably want to jump in and prove yourself and prove why you deserve that spot, but you also probably have to ease into this thing. Is that going to be difficult to kind of walk that line?
Not really, because I'm going to listen to my body for sure. Like, I'm not going to push it whenever I don't need to, especially early on in training camp. So we'll just see how training camp goes, and I feel like, as time goes on, I definitely push myself harder.
You said you think this will be the biggest offseason you've had and the most important. Do you think this is one of the bigger seasons that you've had as a professional this coming season?
I feel like every season is the same in terms of, just being out there. You have 17 weeks. I think the prelude to it is the most important, though. Getting like I keep repeating, the mental part of it. I think once you're there for the season, once you're at the point of where the season is here, I think at that point it's like you have to be ready. So I think, the preludes leading up to the season is the most important. I feel like this is the most important for me, for sure.
You're a former first-round pick. Certainly Shamar has caught a lot of national attention for what happened this week. Is there any advice that you've given him as a guy that's gone through this process before, or was your situation so different that you kind of just let him handle his own?
Yeah, very different. It sucks to see him, on the sideline, just because, what he can bring to the table. But sometimes you have to do his best, and for himself and, handle that. So, hopefully he can come back for training camp, because I know that's a big thing for, rookies coming in, proving themselves and, playing at a high level early. I think that'll be big for him, so hopefully everything works out.
Is it hard? I mean, you think back to your rookie year and not having any off-season practices, any work. I mean, is it going to be hard for him to catch up once he does get to training camp, once the thing does get taken care of?
I trust that he's been in the playbook, just like me. Just being out there, not doing a whole lot, I think that's the only way to actually simulate you being out there. And it's totally different whenever you're out there. So yeah, I feel like this time right now is all mental, for him, and hopefully he gets back.
Lastly, Dax, big changes, training camp. You're going in morning. Zach Taylor's talked about this team doing everything they can to get off to faster starts. Do you like the changes?
I like it, to be honest. I mean, early in the morning, you still feel refreshed, still waking up, but I like it. I mean, it's better than the heat of the day for sure. So I definitely like the change, and hopefully it's good for us.